What is up, my flockers? It's the Birdman coming at you with another commentary here. So I'm going to get right into my topic and not tell you all the updates and the fluff right in the beginning, because I think some of this is a good topic that a lot of people want to hear. How to get better at Call of Duty or Domination or any game type really, and I'm going to kind of leave my advice generic enough that it will fall into any game type. So one thing you have to realize is I'm talking from a standpoint of an average to a good player. A player that when you get into a lobby, 90% of the time you're going to be in the top 1 to 2 players on your team and you're going to win the game. I'm not talking about someone like the Mark J or Sandy Ravage or Scumpy or people like that, because those type of players are like the LeBron James or the Miguel Cabrera for our Detroit fans. Um, those type of players just are naturally, well, they have one thing. So really they have three things that I'm going to talk to you about that allows them to get those crazy gameplays. One, they just have natural talent, right? Like in the past video I was talking about how you get better motor skills, how you get better at hand-eye coordination and being able to quickly adjust to what you're seeing and have that change in your hands. Those type of players are just naturally skilled. They're born with that. They're born with the ability to be able to react quickly to a situation, to someone shooting at them, and basically have those hair trigger reactions. Not everyone has those. You can get better at them. You can improve, but you're just not ever going to get to that sort of level if you're not naturally like born with that. They also have internet. That's awesome, and I don't mean they pay crazy amounts for this upload and download speed. They have good ping, and ping isn't something that you can pay for generally. Ping is based on, you can do a speed test and it'll show you right before it goes in to show you your download and upload speed. It will show you what your ping is, and your ping is based on where you're living in relation to the server where your internet's going through. That you cannot help. That's just pure blind luck unless you specifically moved somewhere that's close to a server that you're going to use, which is crazy. No one does that unless you do this for a living. So what that ping does is it allows you to have better hit detection. It allows you to see things quicker in the game than some of the other players, and I'm not talking like they're seeing it in a minute beforehand. It's milliseconds, but in Call of Duty, a Twitch shooting game, that stuff really matters. And they also have the ability to play whenever they want. If you tend to play Call of Duty and you play like a long session throughout the day, you start to realize when the good and the bad players are on. And I don't mean like bad as in they are just they've been playing for a long time and they're terrible. It's generally the younger kids that don't put in the most time. So during the weekdays, if you're able to play like middle of the day, I swear you can get, I've had days off where I've gotten awesome gameplays because I get in lobbies with just straight up noobs, people that have no clue what they're doing. But then if you play during the weekdays like 7 o'clock on, that's when you start to get the better players, the people that are getting off work that go home and play every night, the older, generation that's playing the game and been playing for a while. That's generally the time they're playing. So they have the ability to play all day and get in lobbies with kids who do not have the highest skill level, which allows them to get those crazy gameplays. So what I want to go through is some tips to make you a good player, above average. And so the first thing that I always do that I really key in on is my routes. My routes are very important that I take in all maps. And what I generally do, especially like Combine is a perfect example, I prefer, like on this side, when I'm on this side here that you're seeing right now, I generally take the left side and go through that lab, and then I go into the rocks, and it allows me to go up, allows me to get a long shot and run the walls against some of the enemies that are set up at the head glitch. But it also gives me the ability to look directly at B down that hallway. And the reason I do that is it gives me a clean shot if anyone's trying to take B, but it also kind of protects me from anyone else that may be in the middle, which generally a lot of people seem to filter to, that I may be getting shot from angles that I don't know. It allows me to control my angles and the areas of exposure that my player has. So that's super important. choose routes that fit your play style. You know, if you're a rusher, you don't need to go through the middle. Take a side route to the middle that gets you there the quickest. If you're someone who likes to hang back and kind of play a little bit of defense, find those areas that give you the least amount of exposure and go to that spot. Don't camp. Don't be a camper. We hate campers. Patrol an area. There's a difference between patrolling an area and camping. I think you should know the difference. If you don't, comment in here and I'll give you all the tips and ideas you want about the difference between a camper and a patroller and why one's okay and one's terrible for the game. Another great idea is get a class that fits your play style. If you're one of those people, again, like I said, that likes to patrol, sets up in some head glitch spots, goes back to another spot, depending on the map, use an AR, use an assault rifle. If you're someone who, I generally like to push up. There are spots where I'm, aiming down sights for a little bit or kind of patrolling an area. But generally all my interactions with enemies are up close. So I'm going to use a machine gun. I'm going to use the Pharaoh a lot of times because that gun just works for me. It allows me to get off shots quick, damage up close, has a long clip. You also have to play to the style of your team. You can't have the same style for every single game. You'll see throughout all my commentaries that I do, I adjust my play style to what my team needs. In this case, my team needed someone to defend and camp. I hate I even used that word. To cap and defend and constantly keep pushing and defending the flags that we had because our team wouldn't do anything. But there are other times that you have teammates who just generally want to go out there and cap flags, and they're doing a great job of that. Don't go out there and get killed with them. Sit there and protect them while they're capping the flags, and get your kill streaks. Be the Slayer. Adjust your play style to the game, to your team really, and I swear you'll be a ton better for it. You also need to, one huge tip for this game is learn the wall runs. Learn your spots where you can run and get an advantage on a player that is set up, because that proves huge in this game. Like, that is such a big deal in this game, is figuring out how to do the wall runs, how to aim properly when you're doing it, and the best spots for it, because I think that's going to be a trend throughout the rest of the Call of Duties, is this kind of three-dimensional play style where you can not only be on the ground but up in the air. So if you can work on that now, get better at it now, you're just going to be a much better player. So those are just a couple tips. If you guys like this video, if you liked the tips that I gave you, try it out. It makes you better. I can do more because I do have more tips in this, but I wanted to get this out there really quick for you guys so that those players that are looking to improve can get better. And I'm by no means saying I'm an amazing player, but I can tell you what, I am a good player that generally is at the top of the leaderboards and top at the end of the match, or at least in second, a majority of the time. So if you like this video, please follow me, join the Bird Gang, subscribe to this channel, give me a like, and more importantly than anything, if you don't like the video, if you don't want to subscribe, at least give me comments on how I can improve. I can't grow this channel unless I get feedback from people who are watching my videos, and I truly mean that. Even if they're negative, put them in the comments, because negative will allow me to improve, because I know what people don't like to see. So thanks for watching my videos. Peace out, my blockers.